Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 129. So tonight we're reviewing Allied. So real quick,
yes.
Quick shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $20 off your first month, and it's pretty great. Yeah. So, Allied is the new Robert Zemeckis movie about World War II spies.
Yep.
Featuring Brad Pitt and Marion, Cotillard, who I fucking love.
I love her.
Just saying it.
She was great.
She was great. I will say this. I don't believe the rumors that he left Angelina for her, because I didn't think that the chemistry was that great.
I mean, that seems like an arbitrary reason for not believing rumors.
Well, the rumors were that like they fell in love on the set of this movie.
Sure.
And I didn't see that happening.
Okay.
Is all I'm saying.
Sure.
That was my biggest problem with this movie, was that I was kind of like, do they love each other?
I mean, I think that's the point.
I guess that is, right? I'm not gonna lie, I liked this movie.
I had a blast.
I wouldn't say that, but I liked this movie.
I really liked it. Like, this was like a good old-fashioned golden age of Hollywood movie, and I was like, I'm here for this. This was just like a throwback, and it was fun.
It was. I thought the pacing could have used a little bit of work.
It got a little slower. The first bit is really good.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good.
Yeah.
And then once, like, it slows down a little bit in the middle. But it was just like, oh, everything makes sense, and like it's an arc, and you know the characters are well thought out, and like I understand their motives and what's happening. It's a little cheesy, it's a little cartoony, it's a Zemeckis movie. Sure. That's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I liked that.
And I wouldn't say it was that cartoony or cheesy. I mean,
no, just like the look of it.
A little bit.
Is become so iconic at this point. It comes off as like a cliched genre.
A little bit, yes.
I was fine with it. My favorite thing about this movie is that it didn't take itself too seriously.
No.
It was very aware.
Also, my favorite thing about this movie were their outfits.
Marion Cotillard's outfits. All of them.
All of them, particularly.
Oh my god. They go to like the desert to like shoot bottles. And it's like a real hard dead cut to both of them in fantastic sunglasses. She's dressed like Elsa from The Last Crusade. Like she's just like Nazi bitch. And you're just like, I love it.
I fucking loved that outfit.
We both went,
She looked so much better than him.
Well, yes. Yes. He didn't look terrible, but he's starting to age out of this part. A little bit. He's on the edge.
The hair did not help. It was weird. It was just, there's something about it wasn't working for me.
Them?
His hair.
His hair specifically.
He didn't look great.
She had all these fantastic silk robes.
Yes.
Went to the floor and were different floral prints. With
just like real
shoulders.
flowy.
Oh my god. I was at their apartment in Morocco. I love the set design. I love the clothes.
It was a really great atmosphere and feel. And the only time that I really was kind of taken out of it was the London bombings.
Well, yeah, it was very, like, over the top. Is that the right?
It didn't seem realistic or, like, scary.
It didn't take itself seriously. Like, it was like, and then she's gonna give birth in the middle of an air raid. And then everyone's quiet because the baby's, but like, I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Like, yeah, that's what would happen. Like, it was like a tall tale almost.
Right, it was a little bit.
Like,
it was.
This nostalgia romp.
Yeah.
Of just like fantastic clothes and silliness. I also really appreciated why it was rated R. It was rated R because they said fuck when they should have.
Yep.
They fucked when they should have.
Yep.
And there was some, like, not gross violence, but like realistic shooting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, ugh, but it was just like...
It wasn't Hacksaw Ridge.
Whoa, it seemed real.
Yes.
What was that line? She's like, we all know people who fucked and then are fucked up and now they're fucking dead. Like, that's in this movie.
Yep. She goes, that's a lot of fucks.
And I was like, what's this movie with me. It was like rated R Casablanca.
But
I'm here.
Yes.
Yes. It was like somewhere like it was like English Patient and Casablanca, but like with some schlock thrown in there. And I like all of those things. He was a really good spy, and he double tapped, and I appreciated it. He was not fucking around. Double taps when you shoot the person twice because you're like, you're not gonna sneak up on me.
Sure.
I'm gonna take care of this.
Yeah.
He was like a really good spy.
They were both really good spies.
They were both really good at their job.
She was a better spy?
She was better. She's always better. I guess what I could have wanted, what would have been okay was like maybe a little bit more against them, like getting together, right? Like
sure.
There wasn't this like force kind of keeping them apart. Like she can't get out of Africa. Like he's waiting for her in England for 3 weeks, and maybe had they sort of just doled that out a little more, right? And like there's a little more of him being a little more desperate to get her there, you know.
I agree. Especially if they put himself out on the line a little bit more to get her back, and rush in the process a little bit more, where it's like, oh God, like
is this gonna come back to get him?
Exactly.
I was also really excited that they were speaking in French when they should have been.
Sure.
I appreciated that it was like, there was this question of like, oh, his accent is wrong, and oh, he's gonna like not talk as much.
Which I loved.
Because you hated his accent in By the Sea.
Because his accent was wrong. And I loved the scene where she's like, no, you're not saying this like a Parisian. I'm like, no, you're not saying that like a Parisian.
Like, you're saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Your accent's terrible. So
I was like, oh good, I'm glad they're not gonna have to speak French.
It was almost like the movie was like, Brad, you didn't get there.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make a few rewrites.
We're going to have to work around this.
The language of it all was a factor. And,
yes.
And that adds to the tension of it.
That is true.
And oh, well, he speaks English and she speaks French and English, and they don't know that he speaks English. Like, there was a lot of, like, codes within the language barrier. And I appreciated that they even attempted it. She was really good at just being like, here's a push.
Yep.
Do what I want.
I loved her.
I'm a puppeteer. I loved her character. I thought she was like a really interesting, strong woman. I was kind of bummed that like they got married and she had a kid and she wasn't spying anymore. Yeah. And she was just like a housewife. I was like, that wasn't my favorite part of it. It starts off and they're both just like fucking killing it, literally, being awesome spies, and you're like, yes, I love all of this. And then it was like, now they're in London and he's at a desk.
Yep, and she's a stay-at-home mom.
This is less exciting.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, I mean, it's not like it's fucking groundbreaking, so if you haven't seen it, like, you can decide.
Right.
But, spoiler alert.
I would go see it. Spoilers, she is a spy.
Yeah.
But I liked this little, like, rabbit hole they took you down, where it was like, oh, is she a spy? Oh, he doesn't believe it. Oh, he's trying to figure it out. Oh, someone says maybe this is just a test.
Right.
That they're testing him to see how he'll react because they want to give him a bigger spy job. Right. Oh, no, it's not. Like, they did do a nice job of sort of just be like, but maybe it's this or this. I don't know.
Yeah, I was really relieved in the ending.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
Because then I was like, well, how are they going to end this?
Yep. There was kind of only one way.
I was like, if they make her not a spy, that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And if they make her a spy, is he going to kill her?
Yeah, no.
You know, like, that's kind of fucked. Or is it cold-blooded, and I guess they went there?
Or is she going to be like a Black Widow? Like,
and I was waiting for that. I was half ready for her, like, so... I'm assuming you've seen it at this point.
Yeah.
They get down to the airplane to try and escape to Casablanca or wherever the fuck they're going to.
Together, yes.
And there's the gun in the glove box.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, she's just gonna cold-blooded murder him.
I was like, she's gonna wait for him to start that plane, and she's gonna shoot him and fly herself and her baby off to France. I was like, oh shit. Wouldn't have been really mad at that. Somehow I just knew it wasn't gonna be a Fincher movie, right? Where it's like, oh, look how fucking dark this is.
Right.
It was just like, it's Robert Zemeckis, of course they're in love, you know?
Right.
But so she shoots herself in the face. Her killing herself, it was really the only way for her to ever 100% prove that, like, she really did love
She
him.
really did, exactly.
That was the only way he would ever not have in the back of his mind, like, I don't know, maybe she did.
Yeah, it was like, no, look, dude, I didn't do this so that I would survive or that, you know, like, I wouldn't get caught or whatever. It was like so that, you know, we could be together.
Right.
And I loved you, and here's our daughter, take care of her.
Yeah.
I definitely had a moment. So he's like trying to get the plane to start.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
oh my God.
Reverend Mother, forgive us for we have sinned. From Sound of Music.
Reverend Mother, I have sinned.
Because he kept trying to get it to start, and it was like Nazis and whatever, and I was just like, the music, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like Sound of Music.
Over the hills to Switzerland!
Right? Exactly. They were trying to skate together because they love each other and this kid.
Yeah. Very quiet baby.
Very. I really, actually, I was like, wait a second. Her mother just like shot herself. And like there was a gun that went off and the baby's not gonna cry.
The baby's used to sleeping through the Blitz. It doesn't give a fuck.
I guess.
That baby was not crying during a Blitz when a plane
flew and crashed overhead.
If they had a weather vane, would have kicked the weather vane off the roof and like landed in a field next to their house.
True.
And was on fire. And the baby was like, yeah, I'm cool. Can we talk about when Lizzie Kaplan shows up as his lesbian sister and how that was in this movie? That
was so weird. But I was like,
I loved
okay
it, but
with
it was like not addressed.
Not
It was just like, in the scene, she just has her arm around a woman and you're like, wait, is she oh yeah. Oh, I guess that's what's happening.
And then she has like a line about like, oh, I'm gonna miss the war, like everything, you can do whatever you want, no one really cares, or
no
something
one
like
cares, yeah, like it's great or whatever. And like she has like a living girlfriend. Of course her lesbian lover is in a silken robe playing the cello.
Right.
I was like, yep.
I like this movie.
I like this movie.
Even though like it dragged, I wasn't bored.
I wasn't like, oh.
And I was invested.
Yeah, like it was just like the clothes and the hair and the sets and these fun angles and this plot and what's happening and Brad Pitt's butt.
Yeah. There was some like pretty sex scenes.
Yeah, that was the other thing with this movie was like it easily could have just been like kissy kiss, fade to black.
I know, it was like
a real sex scene.
Like thrusting into her in a fucking car, and you're like,
oh my God, that scene.
Oh my God, that scene. Okay, wait. I was like half expecting someone to put their hand on the back of the window and just like sand clings to like, it's like a sand print instead of like the streaked fog print, you know? It was like, what is happening in this scene? They're having sex in the car in the midst of a sandstorm.
It's like English Patient.
And it's just like, what is going on?
Well, my problem, the scene, the camera was like doing this, but then it was edited like, what, huh, oh, like they cut, like they did a 360 and cut it in half and then did it the wrong way, and I was like, I didn't need this, but okay. They show Brad Pitt's butt, and a woman in the theater went, oh.
Oh yeah, it was like, ooh.
Like, the theater was filled with elderly people.
Yep.
Like, oh, scandalized. Oh.
I'm getting it on a car.
No,
Brad Pitt.
No, you saw his butt in the bed.
Oh, yeah.
That was when you saw his butt.
You saw his butt in the car, too.
Did you?
Yeah. I noticed.
Had there been a scene where when he found out that she was a spy, I kind of wanted him to take a minute and be really mad about it. Because he was kind of like, what? And then he was like, tell me, like, was this real? Do you really love me? And she was like, I do. And you're like, but like, she could just be saying that.
Right? I wanted him to test her.
Ooh, yeah, there needed to be like a...
Like, I wanted...
Well, he did kind of with the piano.
Yeah, but that was like a bullshit test. That was like oh, you obviously can't do this, so like this was, you know, okay, like you knew that she was gonna be like, you can't.
Yeah.
He tested her to find out if she was a spy.
Yeah.
He didn't test her to find out if she loved him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to know.
Well, she proved it by shooting herself in the face.
That is true.
They could have, like, stewed in the tense minutiae.
I needed to stew a little bit more in the, like, oh, fuck, does she love him?
Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? I don't know.
But I would say go see it.
I would say go see it too.
Or at least rent it. Like, it was,
Oh yeah.
It was like fun.
I would not be angry if I rented this.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I was into it.
I would even like watch it again.
I'm excited Robert Zemeckis is making movies. I mean, he made like Flight and stuff, but I didn't see it. But like,
Flight was awful.
Okay.
It was awful.
Well, what I liked about this Robert Zemeckis movie was it didn't do that like, we're gonna have crazy effects and I'm trying to break the mold and like weird Beowulf, like it wasn't.
He's given up the like, yes. I'm gonna push the envelope because I'm Robert Zemeckis.
He's like, I'll go back to my bread and butter.
Yep.
Romancing the Stone.
Yeah. Girl, no one wants a Christmas Carol CG face, like Benjamin Button,
so
whatever
excited
nonsense.
that he like
let it go.
Found that out.
Let it go.
So yay for Robert Zemeckis.
Yay! Like this was a totally decent movie.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yay!
Another one we liked.